Okay, so nobody's getting the truth from the mainstream media, folks. It's well past time to open your eyes, your ears, and your mind. Do your own research because something isn't right here. And if you can't see that, you are not paying attention, folks.
It's the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. Now that's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
The important message that we need Australians to get vaccinated as quickly as possible. In line with that, I do encourage all Australians to please go and book your vaccinations as soon as you can if you haven't already done so.
Emma, get away!
When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Okay, we need to stand up against this tyranny, folks. Stop giving away your freedoms and liberties, because the more you give up, the more these people will take until you have absolutely nothing left. That's their agenda. All right, good evening, people. How are you? G'day, Frank. How are you? Thanks for dropping in with us, mate. And yeah, continuing on, and as I said, we're going to do a Friday bit of a wrap up of the week, guys. A few different clips on what's gone over this past little time. But how you been, Frank? How's the week?
Yeah, no, it's been great, Dave. I mean, there's plenty going on. There's no question about that. But as you said, in the intro, where we've got to stand up to this tyranny. You know what I mean? I think it's about time we start standing up to the tyranny. Known in our local members and council and what have you. Because I guess right now, Dave, I think they're on the brink, mate.
Yeah. Oh, look, I think they've got a bit of way to go yet, but they're pushing for, a lot of stuff, and we're going to see that tonight, guys. A few of the clips you're going to bring on here, but one good thing we got is I'll hit this first clip, Frank, and this is the guy that we have got. Hang on. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it talks about good Lord shows his his wonders, in the universe, and maybe a bit of all this stuff that we've been seeing over the last few years, guys. It's just that, you know what I mean? Like, hey, I'm here. Yeah, I know he's a copping a hard time, but hey, I'm here, So, interesting times.
And it's so important right now, I think, Dave. I think, people need to find a resting ground. And I can tell you now, there's no better way than spending some time with the Lord himself, and particularly right now, really right now.
And then we got Matthew Harding over there. If you don't know who he is, guys, that's the Blade Runners in England. Have a look at this. And this is probably already here, guys, I'd say.
Right, what we're looking at here is the phased array. These things here were cut down in Southampton. And if you look at the front of that, not a camera, no lens, phased array. It's another example of phased array taken off the traffic lights in Hillingdon. This one was ceramic plate with phased array behind it. Here's a picture of a ULEZ. They got the phased array on the front of 24 lasers here. Osram, 1200 milliwatt lasers. And that's the inside of the ULEZ there. Up here in the top, you can see cooling capacitors up here, 4 capacitors here and 4 down the bottom, or 2 more down the bottom, sorry. That can store 174 watts of power. They can drop you with 4 watts. And here we have the United States patent that shows electromagnetic weapon phased array, right? So phased array is what they've put on the traffic lights. It's patented as a weapon system, ladies and gentlemen. So what have they put up on the streets of London?
What's coming to the streets of Australia, guys? Because they're going to follow suit, but that's very interesting, Frank.
Oh, it is indeed, And I've been doing a segment called, you obviously got to do your own research. But the question is, ask yourself why. Why are they doing it? It always comes down to the why. And we've been their biggest target ever, since Christ, basically.
Yep. All right, so week in review, guys. Here we go.
We begin with the release of one of South Australia's most notorious pedophiles, once questioned of the disappearance of the Beaumont children.
Deanna Williams joins us live, and Anthony Munro is out on parole.
Rosanna, he's spending his first night living in the community after walking out of the Adelaide Remand Centre earlier today. The 80-year-old sexual predator will reside at an undisclosed location under very strict parole conditions, which includes electronic monitoring. He won't be able to leave the premises for any reason without the permission of authorities and is banned from contacting any of his victims. He's serving a 10-year jail term for violently and repeatedly sexually abusing 3 boys at Rapid Bay, Kangaroo Island and Glenelg between the 1960s and 1990s. One of them's told 7 News he's devastated at this abuser's release, that it wasn't the outcome he wanted, and Munro continues to wreak havoc with their lives. The former Scout leader was once questioned by major crime detectives over the disappearance of the Beaumont children, but they've since ruled out any links between Munro and their abduction, but that's little comfort to his victims.
Yeah, was he a fall guy? What was he? Someone had to go down, Frank. It's like, mate, now is he out?
Yeah.
Should he be out? I don't know. I don't think so.
Well, yeah, absolutely, Dave. Look, not long ago, I watched, there was a 3-episode series, it's been around for a long time, called Revelation. And it was, and that's what they did, even during the Royal Commission, it was putting the cups under the, with the ball. And so in other words, the church takes all the heat, but everything else gets left behind, and it's the same. It's the same situation, And you're absolutely right. There's always a fall guy that protects the swarm, so to speak.
That's how they play it. Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly how they play it. All right, so I just found this guy, but he's absolutely brilliant, spot on. Have a listen. Bit of sarcasm, guys.
People are walking away with free items because of a huge flaw in the self-checkouts.
Hang on. Wrong one. He jumped. Someone done something and it moved in his studio. Anyway, here we go. Right, hang on. Okay, you've got me doing this, guys. So
anybody else sometimes get a little bored being awake? Like, you'll be watching TV and you'll be like, okay, that's fake. Turn the channel, watching the news, okay, that's propaganda. Then a few commercials go by, pharmaceutical. Then you see a commercial for a movie and you're like, oh man, look at that too. Trying to program some more. You walk down the aisles of the grocery store and you're like, poison. You're buying water bottles, you're like, oh, microplastics too, awesome. Then you're buying vegetables and fruit and you're like, man, I wonder how many pesticides are sprayed on this. It doesn't stop. And it does get boring. I mean, we talk about the skies, and by the way, I have real clouds today where I'm at.
More and more people are just waking up to the fold, Frank, and sarcastically taking these guys on, which is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, there is a turning of the tide right now, David, and as there's so many great young people really taking up the mantle at the moment, which is fantastic. So keep it up.
Yeah. All right, now I'm not telling you to keep this one up, all right, and I'm not condoning this, but I find this, they bring in these little systems, Frank, and they always backfire on them. So have a look at this backfire.
People are walking away with free items because of a huge flaw in the self-checkout system. It's a trend online. This guy just put a barcode of a bunch of bananas on this TV. He's scanned it, and he's going to pay 43 cents for that brand new TV. And that is because people don't care anymore. And he's realized he's handing his receipt to the lady at the door on his way out, and she doesn't care. And she's on minimum wage. Why would she? It's a huge critical flaw because there's no oversight on purchased items anymore. This guy just grabbed a mango, put the barcode on a PlayStation 5, pays 50 cents for a brand new PlayStation 5. The guy doesn't care at the door. It's a huge critical flaw, and it's actually become a trend online. This guy just put an iPhone inside a bag of chips. He pays for the bag of chips. He goes out, brand new iPhone. And they test this to see how far they could go. An oven. This guy literally grabbed an oven and he paid 20 cents, the price of a pencil, for the oven and walks out with it. This is an insane trend, but it was bound to happen.
I love it when that shit backfires, man.
Mate.
Gold, isn't it?
That's absolutely gold. But yeah, the interesting thing is, there's so many people at Bunnings that take that job real serious, mate. I'd be chased down the freaking store, I reckon, if I had a crack at it.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Spotlight the Sunday Channel. Yeah, sovereign citizens. Yeah, no, yeah, they're trying to. They've had a memo go out to all government officials actually on how to handle us people.
Yeah. Oh, so they're having another go, are they?
Actually, well, if I can find it, where is it? Here it is. Let's go and have a look now. There you go.
All right.
Hang on.
All right, I'll probably get in trouble for this one because I work there. I'm a subcontractor to the contractor who contracts to the mine. But you get the drift. Yancoal just bought the highest producing underground coking coal mine in.
All right, so that's not it, but there is a clip out there. If you have a look at Jody's his clips, one on that topic, Frank, about what's going on with it actually. Yep. So I don't think we may have it here, but anyway, yeah. Interesting. So let's go to this quick one here and then we'll go back to Jody in a minute. But yeah, let's have a look at this, guys, and there's two clips coming here. So here's the first one.
I can announce today that I have changed the diesel standards when it comes to the combustion temperature and allowed a slightly lower combustion temperature of 60.5 degrees, which is called the flash point, Mr Speaker. A little more flexibility to importers as to what diesel we can import into Australia, and a little more flexibility for refiners to switch between fuels as well. These are practical measures, Mr Speaker, not suggested by the opposition, not suggested at any point by any member opposite, but taken by us, Mr Speaker, taking action in the face of international uncertainty when all we have seen from the opposition is partisanship, not patriotism.
Okay, now you heard that? All right, there's the small talk, guys, on what they're doing. They're making all these changes. Have a listen to this.
When the war broke out on the 20th of February, we had more than enough supply. We had more supply than we've had in 15 years, according to Tanya Plibersek. We had 3 billion litres of diesel and 1.5 billion litres of petrol. So we had twice the amount of diesel compared to petrol. We had double. That supply was the first to be cut within 5 days of the war breaking out. So within the first 5 days, the supply to Great Southern Fuels, which is a bulk supplier in the region of Western Australia, which services mining, agriculture, farmers, it services those sectors. So there are thousands of people who rely on the fuel being distributed to them by Great Southern Fuels. Their supply was cut, and they were given the directive to halve the amount that they were selling to customers. ABC published this article that said, in Geraldton, 420 kilometres north of Perth, the local manager of a bulk fuel supplier told the ABC he had been directed to deliver only half of what each customer had ordered. So if they've ordered 20,000 litres, I'm giving them 10. It's been directed down that if we do not adhere to this strictly, that will be cut off totally, and that's the worst case scenario. So they did not begin rationing. They began by having their supply cut and told to cut the supply of their customers. And so what happened then is that all of the retailers, so all of the BP vendors, the other retail petrol stations, because they started applying their own rations, their own restrictions on what they could sell. So in the same article, it says here, Shire President Grant Robbins said they made the decision to impose the restrictions because they were unable to secure a supply.
Bullshit. All by design. Look, this is what they're doing, guys. You know, he's bowing out there, cocking on, and in the background, the directives have gone down. Hey, starve the fuel. Starve the fuel.
Yeah. Corporations, mate.
All
You know,
by
we
design.
don't have politicians. We have corporate lobbyists that run this country. We've got to wake up, right?
Yep.
The puppets on the string are literally that.
Yep. And they're still doing it. So we'll go to Jody Lowe now, and we'll have a look at what Jody's saying about, you know, where he works.
Yeah.
All right, I'll probably get in trouble for this one because I work there. I'm a subcontractor to the contractor who contracts to the mine. But you get the drift. Yancoal just bought the highest producing underground coking coal mine in the last 5 years. They just bought it for about $3.5 billion Australian. Now, everybody's out there running around with all of these fake politicians pretending that there's hope that we'll vote our way out of this shit in 2028. And realistically, what we should be watching is what I've been saying, is that there isn't a single green energy project in this country that isn't billions of dollars over budget. So buying back our steel-making coal assets, and this has a fair bit of this coal, is also thermal coal. Buying back those assets would be a much prouder day for Australians than pissing the money up the wall that we see all day, every day. Now, Albanese, as we know, is a communist. The Search Foundation changed its name in 1983 from the Communist Party of Australia. Albanese and Penny Wong are heavily aligned with Chinese influence. And Yancoal is owned primarily, or the largest percentage of it, Yankuang Energy Group. Yankuang is in Shandong, in the Shandong Energy Group, and follow that back. Government of China controls over 50% of Yankuang, and all of those state-owned ones are controlled by the Chinese Communist Party, right? The party maintains levels of either ownership and or control. So they own it and they control it. And so this is what we're talking about when I say that our minerals and resources in our country are 86% foreign owned. And most people don't know that. Now, the union, who I laugh at over the years, who was always telling us to, strike a deal and stick it to the man and all that sort of shit, they know that. And they've got that mine in particular at the moment squabbling over a 1% pay rise, while the $3.5 billion flick of money for China just bought an 80% share in the number one producing coal mine in underground space for the last 5 years. Doesn't that worry you? Shouldn't that be something that should be on the front cover of every newspaper? But
What do you think?
Well, the interesting thing is
they're still doing it, mate. They're just selling everything out.
Yeah. And then we got Aluki and Brendan who want to do their business in the Hong Kong courts. I mean, come on, boys. You know what I mean? Like seriously. You know what I mean? Like when it's all said and done, and you're absolutely right, Dave. They'll continue to sell us out. They've got an agenda to meet. And we've got to realise that the politicians stand for party first, people last. It's never about us. No. Yeah.
All right, we're going to play one more, and then we've got something just for a little half time, guys. You want to grab a drink or a coffee or something in a minute, but history repeats, and is this what they got? Maybe coming for us. Let's have a look.
What if the insane asylums from the 1800s weren't built for insane people at all? Think about it. People always say if there was a reset, wouldn't everyone have known? But what if the people who did know were labeled insane? In the 1800s, all across America and Canada, massive insane asylums started appearing. Huge buildings, massive stone structures, some of the biggest buildings in the entire country at the time. But here's the strange part. Many of these cities were just being founded. So where did all of these insane people come from? And how did they know there would be so many of them that they built entire castle-like complexes to hold them? Look at the Central Lunatic Asylum in Ohio. It looks more like a fortress than a hospital. Look at the Columbia State Hospital. At one point, it was the largest building in the United States. And then there's St. Vincent Hospital in St. Louis. They say it was built in 1 year in the 1800s, with that architecture. So you have to ask yourself, were these buildings really made to treat the insane? Or were they made to silence people who remembered a world that no longer existed?
Go, mate.
Well, it's interesting with all that, Dave. You know, like they're still ordering Section 32 on our people right now. And we've got Brendan, who used to come to the gate. He got a Section 32 recently. And he's and he's in Nepean Hospital right now. And so we've got government bureaucrats who make solid decisions on people's behalf, whether they want it or not, right? And it's interesting. We are targeted, and the reason why we're targeted is because we're awake, and they don't want us to be. Yeah.
And so here's the one, guys. Just sit back and listen to this. I absolutely love this. My granddad, as you know, was a rabbit for Brook. Okay, this is talking about World War I, but again, all bankers' wars, guys. We know what went on, but you know, Anzac Day's been hijacked, so me and Frankie going to give you back a bit of Australian truth.
Now, when I was a young man, I carried me pack, and I lived the free life of the rover. From the Murray's Green Basin to the dusty outback, I waltzed my Matilda all over. And then in 1915 my country said, son, it's time you stop roaming, there's work to be done. So they gave me a tin hat and they gave me a gun. And they marched me away to the war. And the band played Waltzing Matilda as the ship pulled away from the quay. And amidst all the cheers, the flag waving and tears, we sailed off for Gallipoli. And how well I remember that terrible day, how our blood stained the sand and the water, and for how in that hell that they called Suvla Bay, we were butchered like lambs at the slaughter. Johnny Turkey was waiting, he primed himself well. He shot us with bullets and he rained us with shell, and in 5 minutes flat he'd blown us all to hell. Nearly blew us right back to Australia, and the band played Waltzing Matilda as we stopped to bury our slain. We buried ours, and the Turks buried theirs, and we started all over again. Well, those that were left, well, we tried to survive in this mad world of blood, death and fire. And for 10 weary weeks I kept myself alive, while around me the corpses piled higher. Then a big Turkish shell knocked me arse overhead, and when I woke up in me hospital bed and saw what it had done, well, I wished I was dead. Never knew there were worse things than dying, for I'll go no more waltzing Matilda all around the green bush far and free. To hump tent and pegs, man needs both legs, No more waltzing Matilda for me. So they gathered the crippled, the wounded, the maimed, and they shipped us right back to Australia. The legless, the armless, the blind, the insane, those proud wounded heroes of Suvla. And as our ship pulled into Circular Quay, I looked at the place where me legs used to be, and thank Christ there was nobody waiting for me. To grieve, to mourn and to pity, and the band played Waltzing Matilda as they carried us down the gangway. Nobody cheered, they just stood and stared, then they turned all their faces away. And so now every April I sit on me porch, and I watch the parade pass before me, and I see my old comrades how proudly they march, reviving old dreams of past glories. But the old men march slowly, old bones stiff and sore, the tired old heroes of a forgotten war, and the young people ask, what are they marching for? And I asked myself the same question, and the band played Waltzing Matilda, and the old men still answer the call. But as year follows year, more old men disappear. Someday no one will march there at all. Waltzing Matilda, oh, come a waltzing Matilda with me, and their ghosts may be heard as they march by the billabong. Oh, come a waltzing Matilda with me.
You want to know why we fucking fight for this country?
Yeah.
Why we need to fight for this country? Because they've already done it, guys. We don't want to go there again. We don't. But they want to take us there.
Oh, yeah.
That's very, very... That guy is brilliant, mate. That was the best rendition of that I've ever heard.
Yeah, it was powerful, Dave.
Yeah, the emotion in his voice, mate, was just like, yeah.
And that's what's been missing.
Yeah, no go, mate. You can say we're going to let this country go, are we, guys? Are we?
Yeah.
Go, Frank.
Yeah, no, Dave, I share that exact sentiment. I mean, Anzacs has been turned into propaganda machine. You know, we saw, you know, even this year, you know, with Ben Roberts-Smith and the whole nonsense and all the rest of it. And, you know, it's just turned it into a circus. You know, it really has. You know, Nero said, you know, feed them bread and circuses. And we've learnt nothing. We've learnt nothing, Dave. And we keep following the old cycle over and over and over again. And we've really got to get back. You take every word that bloke sang right now, that's what it meant. And that's what it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what do we got? Well, in Melbourne, this is what we got, guys.
An on-duty paramedic has been stabbed in the neck and face in a shocking random attack outside a Reservoir cafe. The ambush leaving the boss of Ambulance Victoria sick to the stomach.
A shocking daylight attack on one of Victoria's frontline heroes.
This is a vile and chilling attack on one of our members.
It is absolutely disgraceful.
An on-duty Micah paramedic in his 30s stabbed in the face and neck while on his way to get coffee with colleagues in Reservoir around 11 this morning.
He was bleeding quite heavily and he applied direct pressure to that wound.
Unfortunately, it's not used to be safe as used to be before.
Police this afternoon bagging evidence including this blade from a knife left behind. Footage seen by 7 News shows the attacker pull up on the side of the road, get out of his parked car and walk directly towards the Micah vehicle and paramedic before stabbing him and running from the scene. And that's when a hero bystander stepped in.
He thinks that probably stopped him being more seriously injured, potentially stabbed more times.
The attack shining a spotlight on a growing crisis in Victoria. More than 1,000 paramedics are assaulted every year, despite laws mandating jail terms for attacks on frontline workers.
There will be paramedics tonight who will be scared to go to work, and rightly so, because of this appalling violence.
The young paramedic is in good spirits in hospital and expected to make a full recovery. The attacker tonight in custody. Georgia Bennett-Murphy, 7 News.
It's everywhere down there, but, you know, if they hadn't took the machete bins away, Frank, so early, maybe that guy would have put his bit, you know, maybe it would have gone in the bin. You know, you don't know.
You don't know, Dave. You really don't know, mate. You know, all those millions and all those bins, mate, and I'll tell you now.
You can just see a big football from Aldi walking up to the bin to give up his knife, can't you? You know.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You know, and not to you know, let's not forget those guns in Bondi. You know what I mean? Like seriously.
Yeah. Seriously. Yeah. He's a bit seriously.
Take questions.
Prime Minister, you've spoken a lot about Labor needing to be the party of aspiration. I'm wondering if you would consider changes to housing tax breaks to be anti-aspiration, and do you rule out changes to negative gearing and capital gains tax in the next 3 years?
Well, I've been asked a lot about that, and I give the same answer, which is in 2022, as I've said today, there was a campaign run suggesting we were going to make changes. The proof's in the pudding. Proof is in what you do, not what you say you will do. The proof is we haven't made any changes. I think that the key when it comes to housing policy is supply. Supply, and even more supply. And that's why we have a plan to do just that.
And do you rule out future changes, Prime Minister?
Well, I've done that multiple times. And if you ask me tomorrow, we'll get the same answer. And as I said, the proof is in what we have done. What we've done is make sure that we have a comprehensive Homes for Australia plan.
And again, no answer at all. You know why? Because they're looking at the tax reform now for the May budget on what they said they wouldn't touch. You know what?
It's all in the pudding, Dave.
Oh, fucking Yorkshire pudding. Yeah. Oh, mate. It's unreal, isn't it?
Oh, mate. And yeah, the thing is that they'll build and build and build, but guess what? Yeah, we won't own them; they will. I mean, you know, that's the thing, Dave. You know, I mean, like we'll own nothing and be happy. Remember?
Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly what they want. All right. So while we're down that way, here, Jacinta.
I'm having a terrible day, and it's Jacinta Allen's fault. Hey, buddy. All right, that cheered me up a little bit. But anyway, I'm having a terrible day thanks to Jacinta Allen because I have, for about the 10th time this month, had to share a train carriage with a drug-addled lunatic. But this time, the guy got on the train and he was brandishing 2 knives. This lunatic gets on the fucking train, he's got 2 knives in his hands, he's sharpening them, he's ranting and raving, he's playing music, he's off his head's on drugs. There's no cops, there are no PSOs anymore at the train station because they moved them to shopping centres for some reason, and then didn't replace those people with PSOs at the train station, despite the fact that violence at train stations is increasing at an insane rate. So I have to take it upon myself to get all of the women off the carriage, onto the next carriage, press the emergency button, tell everyone that there's a man with a knife on the train. Everyone's freaked out. Thank God there was an off-duty police officer on his way to work. Me and him have to go into the carriage with the guy with the knife to make sure that he doesn't enter the fucking carriage with all the women and children on it. And every time I take the fucking train now, I see some drug-addled lunatic, someone in desperate need of psychiatric care or getting knocked out, and it's getting worse. And PSOs are nowhere to be seen. Right now, there's no PSOs here. So I gotta go home now, and if shit kicks off, I'm on my own. We had to prevent this guy from getting from one carriage that was empty into the one with all the women and children, and we had to sit there for over 20 minutes waiting for police officers to show up because there's no PSOs. So we're sitting at a station that should have PSOs, sitting on our hands and praying to God that this guy doesn't start stabbing. And it was very scary, and it's fucking ruined my day, and it's made me very angry. And people could have died, man. So, Jacinta Allen, if you're watching this, the situation on the ground is fucked. We need PSOs at every single train station. Put them back.
She took the fucking bins, Frank. I mean, you know.
Oh, fucking hell. Oh, that's what you get when you're part of the CMFEU, Dave.
Mate, it's unbelievable. This is where our country is, guys. You know,
Mate.
This is what it's come to. And it's going to get worse. This is a taste.
Turn to shit is what it's done, Dave. We
And
tried
then
to warn for how
right.
many years, mate? I was just going to say, how many years have we tried, to warn the general public or the general consensus of the public,
Yeah, and what's coming, what they want to do. And they will do if we don't stand up and say no, because they show us. And then guess what? Once they've shown you, they do it.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. Their rules. All right? It's always been their rules. Anyway, let's have a look.
You're looking at around 3 tons of illegal cigarettes seized by Border Patrol recently. It's a significant amount, but it's just a very small fraction of the total amount seized since late last year. The federal government and Border Force revealing they've now seized more than 1 kiloton. That's 1,000 tons of illegal cigarettes and vapes. That was all destined for the black market right around Australia, and that is a market that has been booming. It's led to turf wars between rival crime gangs fighting to control that market. Much of that has been evident through frequent firebombing attacks, particularly here in Victoria. Now, the federal government says around 90% of illegal tobacco and vapes are stopped by Border Force. Some is stopped before it even gets here. The rest of it really comes down to state and territory agencies to stop it once it's on the ground. What the federal government can't or won't say is how much product it believes is still making it through. We'll have more details on that and a full report in 9 News at 6.
I'll just ask a question, Frank. Is the government actually, because their taxes are down on the cigarettes because of all the black market, are they just stealing cigarettes so they can actually reintroduce them to their mates in the black market and pick up a bit of money? I wonder.
We're on the same page, Dave. It's called problem, reaction, and solution. They created the problem, right? Now there's a reaction, and now they're going to try and come up with a solution. You know what I mean? Yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah, I remember years ago, Frank, there was a bust in Sydney Harbour of some hash, and it was blonde Lebanese hash, all right? We're on the news, bang, 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 within a fortnight, right? This is the mid-70s, we're getting blonde Lebanese hash. Now the cost of it all, come on,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
Like,
Well,
nothing changed, guys.
What happened when Reagan, what was his whole catchphrase? Reagan said, I'm going to stop the war on drugs, the cocaine, during the cocaine period. Mate, there was more cocaine that they couldn't do anything with it. Yes.
Exactly. All right, here we go.
This woman right here is one of the very reasons Australia is so messed up today, and I'm going to expose them all. So check this video out. This is the Federal Minister of Finance in Australia.
On RN last week, you said there's been $114 billion of savings across your budgets.
Mm-hmm.
Is that net savings or gross savings?
Well, it's savings and reprioritising.
So you're saying that's net of spending decisions? You reduced expenditure by $114 billion?
Yeah, it's a gross figure.
So it's gross, right. What is the net figure?
I don't have that available.
Is it positive or negative?
Well, I just don't have that figure.
But if you spend every dollar that you saved, it's not a save, is it? It's just spending it on something else.
Well, you know, that can be the way you twist it.
Honestly, what a joke. Now it gets worse, but firstly, let's establish what her role is as a federal finance minister. Firstly, one of the roles is finding how the government can save money. Well, no, she lied about that and blew $160 billion that she claimed to have saved to the public, and when someone questions her about this, she says this.
You know, that can be the way you twist it.
I am literally losing brain cells hearing her speak. Now, secondly, her key role is ensuring spending stays within budgets. So here's another video of her excellent skills.
$30 billion of cost blowout. It's your budget, and you don't know where $30 billion went.
No.
Is it under the couch? Is it behind the TV? Where is the $30 billion? My point is why you, Minister, don't understand where $30 billion went missing. I
think the minister
if I was reading that, that's one of the, when I read my info, I was like, where's that? But you didn't ask those questions. You don't seem to be across your own budget.
Well, I don't know where you were when we released my info, but I spoke about this at length.
Well, you obviously didn't read it.
Okay?
If I were in your shoes, I would be holding myself to account, which you are not. You're making excuses when you have wasted, you have totally missed $10 billion on one program. And so this is why we have the highest interest rates in the developed world right now.
Now, I don't think people understand how much that is. $30 billion, and she has no clue where it went. The federal minister of finance, whose one job is to focus on where money is going, just randomly loses $30 billion. She has no clue where it is. I am pretty sure a requirement to run any part of our country is you have to have one brain cell or less. That seems to be the only similarity across the entire government. Honestly, let me know the solution to this shit. Like, you literally can't trust a word one of these pricks say to you anymore. They just lie and tell you exactly what you want to hear so they can keep their paycheck. Honestly, let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
I love seeing the young kids doing this, Frank. It's unreal, mate.
It is. You know, and they're waking up fast, mate. They really are.
Oh, yeah. And don't wake up and tell too many stories or listen to this one, guys.
There is a movement to suppress any kind of technological science going forward.
I know the University of Colorado has multiple patents that they were working on that is talking about the 0-point energy field. And I've done some shows 8-9 years ago that with some of those people that were working on that when they were having a heck of a time, the edge of change, edge of innovation. That was the type of innovation that I was talking to scientists about that was scratching my head that I couldn't understand why it wasn't moving forward. And that's what opened my eyes to the world being different. I talked to Jimmy Boots, Detective Rothstein, about the blackmail network, and I came at it from a different angle of seeing all these edge innovations, and I was realizing people can't get anywhere with these amazing technologies. What's going on?
If we go through with this, the government doesn't want it. And this is when I first heard about the Invention Secrecy Act of 1951. The government can choose to shut it down, but I don't think they'll do that. That's too public. They'll come and deal with us individually. There are missing scientists related to what we're talking about. And I did a piece on where 2 people murdered sitting on their porch who were working on the same technology. And then 2 more have been abducted. They don't know where they're at. They went hiking and just never came back. My own father surmised this with his work with German scientists. They were working on 0-point energy, and he couldn't figure out why it never ended up in NASA.
Yeah.
So if you're going to talk about it, guys, and we're coming to that time now where, they just are going to silence people. It's pretty simple. So, God bless those scientists, because they have been taken out, guys. We know it, 14 of them. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again, Frank. You got some closing words for the week, mate?
Yeah, look, just a special shout out to Rocco Vardy, our good mate Rocco.
Yep.
He's been standing up there and taking some action over at Hillsong. So anyone who wants to join Rocco when he gets back into the forefront, when fighting the church on the front line, I'm sure he'll let you know where he's going and what he's doing. So stay tuned into Rocco. And like I said, we've actually, you know what? Yeah, I won't go there this time. I was going to talk about the Section 32, which we've already covered, but everyone that's done a Forest of the Fallen throughout the entire country, Rosemary, and all you guys, for me personally, I want to thank you guys because you guys have done a tremendous job, honestly. Forest of the Fallen has really made a massive significance in this country right now. And we were the people that created forests also Australian, so yeah, anyone that's associated with Forest of the Fallen, I just want to thank you guys for holding that line for as long as you have. I really do. There you go, Dave.
No, thanks, Frank. And yeah, not me so much. I mean, I was over there doing stuff, but yeah, Craig and the people from Wollongong, his sister Barb and everybody else.
Yeah.
My aunt, Timmy to mention. But yeah, well done, everyone.
Yeah.
Well done, everyone. So, my closing, or the outro for the night, guys, is a song I picked because I thought that we would have had a few more trolls back in, but we haven't had any. But anyway, my song is from Guru to the Trolls. Enjoy it, guys. You all know it. Good night. Thanks, Frank.
Night.
Cheers, brother.
On a long and lonesome highway east of Omaha, you can listen to the engine moaning out his one-note song. You can think about the woman or the girl you knew the night before. But your thoughts will soon be wandering the way they always do when you're riding 16 hours and there's nothing much to do. And you don't feel much like riding, you just wish the trip was through. See, here I am on the road again. There I am up on the stage. Here I go playing star again. There I go, turn the page. Well, you walk into a restaurant, strung out from the road, and you feel the eyes upon you as you're shaking off the cold. You pretend it doesn't bother you, but you just want to explode. Most times you can't hear them talk, other times you can. All the same old cliches. Is that a woman or a man? And you always seem outnumbered. You don't dare make a stand. Here I am on the road again. There I am up on the stage. Here I go playing star again. There I go, turn the page. Out there in the spotlight, you're a million miles away. Every ounce of energy you try to give away as the sweat pulls out your body like the music that you play. Later in the evening as you lie awake in bed with the echoes from the amplifiers ringing in your head, you smoke the day's last cigarette, remembering what you said. Here I am on the road again. There I am up on the stage. Here I go playing star again. There I go, turn the page.